Well, hello, Mrs. Mitchell.
Hi, Todd. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah, me too.
The sun is shining, and I like that.
I do. Well, I like that because right now the weather temperatures are very nice.
Good. It's good sleeping weather.
It is.
I think.
It is.
And we got to use our whole house fan the other night on the Sunday when it was or Monday.
It was Monday night.
Monday when it was 80 something degrees, and it didn't get very cool over the night. And so we opened up our screen door to our bedroom going out to the patio and had the whole house fan come on. And man, that sucks like air through there. It's a nice.
It feels really nice.
Cool,
very refreshing.
It's fantastic. I love being able to do that.
I know.
But anyways, we hope you all had just a wonderful holiday weekend with your family, Resurrection Sunday.
Yes.
And we did.
We did. We had a very different and interesting holiday celebration. And you know, I'm sure you're aware that Todd and I are a blended family. I have children that
may not be aware.
That are, maybe not.
Yeah.
That are older than Todd's. And so we have quite a bit of grandchildren. And so we had a couple of different types of celebrations this Easter, and we kind of wanted to share with you what we did. Mm-hmm. And then we also wanted to find out, how do you handle blended family celebrations? And not only do we have blended family, we have blended cultures as well. And so it was really nice.
This may shock you. I am white.
And I'm Mexicana.
She's Mexican and I'm white. The cultures are clashing.
So on Friday, what we had talked about what we were going to do on Friday, and we had Mason and Taylor, two of our grandkids, and then our granddaughter Haley had flown in from San Diego, and so we had the three of them.
It's really surprising. She's 20 years old and she likes to come and stay with us.
I know.
And we like to have her too.
Yeah.
But we had a good time taking them all on Friday out to Sycamore Island. And just to kind of, we went on, I don't know, not a super long
No, it wasn't
hike,
too long.
2-3 miles-ish. But one of my most favorite moments of that day, we were, there first off, Mason and Taylor's mom, Karina, called, and we were supposed to have had them back at the time that she called, and we were a good 45 minutes from making that happen.
Sorry, honey.
So anyways, we were walking back to the car with a bit of an urgency. And I asked the kids, hey, do you guys know how to skip?
And I haven't done that in a long time.
And I'm kind of surprised that they did. And so we skipped. And it was kind of fun. And it got them to exercise as well as we got to the car faster. Linda filmed some
we
video.
all exercised with the hike. So it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but that was really nice. We did that on Friday. Mm-hmm. Haley and I stayed up till midnight baking chocolate chip cookies for my niece's birthday the next day. So we had a family breakfast with my side of the family. We went out and had breakfast in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then at 1 o'clock, we had our Resurrection Sunday lunch get together with my children. And that was
at Westwoods.
At Westwoods. So my daughter suggested that, so there would have to be no cooking and cleaning and all that good stuff, which I jumped on board with really quick. Mm-hmm. And so that was one of them. And then our next one was on Sunday.
Yeah, so Sunday morning, our son Luke and his beautiful new wife Dasha had invited us, the entire family, to meet up at the well and to go to Resurrection Sunday service that morning. And so we did that. It was on their new campus. It's not quite ready yet, so we met in the parking lot. And I thought that if we got there a half hour early, it would be enough. That wasn't the case. I think half of Fresno went to that service. It was really cool. I'm so thankful that Luke and Dasha got there early to save us a seat.
Right.
Because had they not, it was pretty chaotic.
It was.
Without that, but we would have been like way out in the back. But it
was a very nice service.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was.
And then afterwards, so when Luke had talked about the gathering, initially we were going to be at his location, and then realized that with all the combined families, that it would be better at my mother-in-law's location.
Mm-hmm. That was interesting in and of itself, because we did combine. At Luke and Dasha's request, we combined our family, Luke's mom's family,
and then
Dasha's
family.
And then on top of that, they have a family that from Ukraine that once the war started there, I believe they were on vacation they were never able to come back to their home, as far as I know.
Right.
And they got asylum here in California, in the United States, and so they've been living here ever since.
Yes.
And so they came too. That was another family of 5. So we had over 30 in total.
Right. And where normally we would have only had one little one running around for an Easter egg hunt, I think there were like 7 or 8 kids running around, which is really nice because that event is fun for the kids. I still like it at my age, but no one wants to do that for me because they'd have to put money in those eggs for me.
But when it came time to have our meal, we had all the food out on a big table that we big square table that we walked around, and we had a collection of Ukrainian,
American, and Mexican food. So
we did. It was kind of almost like a hometown buffet of.
It was like
cultures.
International foods, like that restaurant in Pacific Grove, right? Mm-hmm. That we like to go to. But yeah.
But I will say the beans, tortillas, and the shredded beef that we brought were some of the first items to go.
Well, yeah, it was
once
really
again
good.
The Mexican culture prevails.
I know.
Right?
I heard somebody around the table, and they were like, "What? There's tortillas?" And they went back to grab some tortillas. So it was very interesting. It was very nice. It was good to have all the people there, and usually when we go to a gathering and somebody can't understand the language, it's because somebody's speaking Spanish. Andamos hablando español y no pueden entender todos.
Not Ukrainian.
But in this case, there was Ukrainian language going on and English. And it was nice. It was a very nice day, and we had the perfect weather for it. And so we're very thankful for Luke for putting that together.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And Dasha.
I think for once, and this is our 6th episode of doing this Coffee with Todd and Linda podcast, more of a slow news week, if you would. I mean, there's still all the things, like the big thing is right now is Whole Foods is closing their location in San Francisco on Market Street.
Right.
Because of theft, crime.
They said they haven't been making money out there. And so they're closing that down, which is going to be a big blow to San Francisco. I mean...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a real shame. And then I read this morning, actually I read yesterday, that Walmart is closing 4 or 5 stores in Chicago for the same reason.
So, yeah, anyway.
It's sad to see these things happening.
It really is. But going back to the Resurrection Sunday celebration
and
blended family, well, I just wanted to end it with, share with us how you celebrate and how things go down, because I'd be very curious. We're always open to hearing, and it's always nice to tweak things here and there a little bit.
Or what you did too.
Right. So one of the other things I kind of wanted to talk about is today is National Pet Day.
Oh, yes.
And so we've got to share this with you. Kobe right now, our 7-month-old puppy, is at the vet. I took him this morning and...
Getting x-rays.
Yeah, he's getting x-rays right now. So on March 18th, we were out with our grandson, Mac, from San Diego. He's only 7. We had taken him out to Sycamore Island with Kobe. And when we got back about a day later, for some reason, I don't know why, I just started checking Kobe for ticks.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he had one like right in here, right under the middle of his back.
Between his shoulder blades.
Yeah, between his shoulder blades. And I freaked out. And so, Lyme disease, dogs, not a good thing. And I freaked out. Todd Googled, there's a special tool to remove them. We didn't have it.
A tick puller.
We didn't have it. I was on my way to go out for showings. And so what I did in the immediate is I had read that if you get peanut butter and put it on the tick, that it will suffocate them and they will die. So that's the first thing I did, is I slathered peanut butter all over it. And I left to go get the tool and do my showings. And so when I came back, Todd went ahead and removed the tick. And when he removed it, that sucker was like shriveled up. It was all shriveled up.
Yeah, I think he was pretty well. Well, he was dead.
He was dead.
He wasn't moving around.
He was
at all.
dead.
Yeah.
And
but
so
the interesting thing, so that was a month or so over the last
almost a month ago.
Yeah, over the last couple of days, we've seen or noticed Kobe starting to limp. He's very lethargic. He's not eating.
Well, we noticed the eating about 2 or 3, at least 2 weeks ago. We noticed that he hasn't been eating like normal. He hasn't had much appetite. We normally take him on a 3.5 to 4 mile walk every day. And we noticed that the last few times we took him on that long walk, I mean, he was so tired he could barely get home. And so now we've been taking him on little 2-mile walks. I think the last one we did is just a mile.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just, he's limping.
But
and
just waiting for the limp to kind of, I've just figured maybe because he gets the zoomies and he goes crazy, and sometimes he falls down. We've noticed him a couple of times doing this. Now that he weighs 65 pounds, and when he falls down, look, one time he shrieked because it hurt him. He crashed on his body and it hurt. So
he's so big, and he doesn't recognize how big he is. He doesn't realize it, and he's growing really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, this morning, Todd and I were sitting there, and he was just laid out, not doing his normal self. And Todd started doing some research, and he's got all the symptoms of Lyme disease.
He does, yeah.
And I agree.
Lameness,
he did.
loss of appetite,
Everything.
lethargy,
And so anyway, I threw on my clothes and took him down to Hope, which is down the street. Normally I walk to it, but today I threw him in the car and we went. And she ran 2 tests on him because she checked him, and she said, let's run the tests. There's 2. So she ran those 2 tests, and the veterinarian, she came back in and she said, he's negative for both. She said, she said, it doesn't look like anything's broken. I've tested everything. She said, but we need to do some x-rays. She said, I think he's growing at a very rapid rate. She said, which is normal. She said, however, it's very painful for dogs where they need pain medication. So I'm kind of
go figure.
Right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So anyway,
so $300 some odd dollars later, we're still waiting to figure out that's what it is.
So I had been there with him this morning since about 8:45, and so around 11, because I was a walk-in around 11 o'clock when she told me they were going to do the x-ray. She said, you can leave him and come back and pick him up. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, and they close for lunch, so we'll pick him up after lunch.
We'll see. We'll report next week on what the deal is with that. So that's how we're spending our. What did you say it was National Pet Day? Or
National Pet Day, but that's that it's kind of it was very hard for me because I'm looking at him and it's like this little guy's always jumping and playing, and this is his time in the morning. And
we don't have any kids in the house anymore, so he's kind of like our kid now.
Well, even when she did the blood work for Lyme disease, I'm sitting there thinking, well, what if he has that really severe case that causes kidney damage? I mean, I started just all kinds of thoughts going through my head. So anyway, we'll keep you posted, but right now it looks like, thankfully, it's just a growing pains that are causing him lots of pain.
We'll see.
But
really, no other items to cover in the news of noteworthiness.
Yeah.
There's always tons of stuff.
We thought we'd get personal.
Yeah, we got a little bit more
We do
personal.
want to cover the mortgage rate.
Because that's easy to do.
Yeah, it is.
So relevant
go
right
for
now.
It, Todd.
You want me to do it?
I do.
Let me put on my glasses because I just got to have those nowadays. All right, 30-year fixed is 6.42%. Do you remember what it was last week? I should start saving these.
I know. I think it's gone up. It has gone up. I think it was like 6.24.
Yeah. Okay. So 6.42% on a 30-year fixed. A 15-year fixed is 5.88%. A 30-year FHA is at 6%, and a 30-year VA is at 6.05%. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the other big news is that we didn't mention is the Cal Hoffa Dream Program is out of money.
Gone.
So the clients that we were working with, I guess they're out of luck because I don't think we didn't find them a house in time.
We'll have to talk about that next week because I read an article this morning in regards to where did all the money go and why did it go so fast. And apparently the news about this program and all the qualifications required got leaked out to the Sacramento area way before anyone else heard about it.
So they've been using it for...
Well, no, they were saying that the Sacramento area had more agents using the program because they found out about it first. So they had their people already ready to go and waiting in line. So I don't know how true that is. I'm going to have to read more articles, but...
More to follow on that. Well, hey, thanks for joining in with us today on this Wednesday, or maybe Thursday for you by the time you see this.
Thank you. And click that little like so you can follow us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Coffee and Common Sense podcast with Todd and Linda. We hope you had a good time and look forward to seeing you all next week.